Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halal versus non-halal have been the biggest concern among Muslim consumer. Did you know more than 60% of Malaysians are Muslim, which means majority of people in this country is a halal consumer. Therefore, today I Shabil Nasr Haikal with my group mate will present to you about consumer decision making process in purchasing halal food in Malaysia. In a book titled Malaysia and the Rise of Muslim Consumer Culture by Johan Fisher state that Malaysia is one of the countries that produce halal product. Furthermore, customers nowadays are more aware on purchasing goods, especially when it's come to food. They know how important it is to carefully choose place to eat to make sure that the food is halal. However, there is some cases that the restaurant use Muslim choices and non-alcoholic sign to confuse the customer into buying their product. So, it is very important to make decision before buying a halal food.
Alright, next I will move on to section 2.0, which is content. This section explains the main components of the consumer decision making process when purchasing halal food in Malaysia. Here I highlight several important aspects such as the concepts of halal, the factors that influence consumers, the impact on the market, the challenge faced, and the improvement measures that can be taken. Overall, this section provides a general overview of how consumers' knowledge, beliefs, and attitudes shape their purchasing behavior. It also helps us understand why halal awareness is essential for strengthening the halal market in Malaysia. Alright, now let's look at section 2.1, which is halal. The term halal means permissible or allowed according to Islamic law. The halal concept does not only refer to the ingredients used but also covers the entire process, including sourcing, processing, preparation, storage, and also distribution. Halal food must be free from prohibited elements such as pork, alcohol, and improper slaughtering practices. In Malaysia, the main authority responsible for halal certification is JAKIM. The JAKIM halal logo helps build consumer confidence by assuring that the product is safe, clean, and also compliant with Islamic guidelines. In short, the concept of halal forms the foundation of purchasing decisions among Muslim consumers because it is closely tied to religious values and also daily practices.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to everyone. My name is Ian Zafri. Today, I will be explaining the factors that influence consumers' decisions to purchase halal food. These factors are important because they shape how people, especially Muslims, they choose what they eat in their daily lives. So, first, the most significant factor is religious awareness. For Muslim consumers, choosing halal food is not just a preference, but a responsibility. It is a part of fulfilling Sharia requirements which guide Muslims in ensuring that whatever they consume is permissible and clean. When people become more aware of their religious obligations, they naturally become more careful about checking the labels, ingredients, and the origins of the food they buy. So, religious awareness creates a strong motivation for consumers to choose halal products consistently. The second factor is the halal label and certificate. In Malaysia, the most trusted halal certification comes from JAKIM. When consumers see the official JAKIM halal logo on a product, it immediately increases their confidence. This is because the logo shows that the product has gone through strict inspections covering ingredients, cleanliness, and processing methods. Without this certification, many consumers may hesitate or avoid buying the product because they are unsure about its authenticity. So overall, halal logo plays a big role in building trust and credibility. Next is quality and hygiene. Many people believe that halal products are not only religiously compliant but also cleaner, safer, and of higher quality. This is because halal certification requires producers to follow strict hygiene standards, proper handling of raw materials, and sanitary food preparation. As a result, Consumers tend to associate halal food with safety and good manufacturing practices. Even among non-Muslim buyers, this perception influences them to choose halal products over non-certified ones. Lastly, we have social influence. Friends, family, and even social media plays a strong role in shaping purchasing decisions. When people see others, especially close family members, choosing halal food, it tends to influence their own choices as well. On social media, recommendations, reviews, or even viral content can affect what consumers prefer to buy. If many people are talking about a halal product being trustworthy or high quality, it will naturally encourage others to try it too. So, social influence creates trends that and affects how consumers think about halal products. So, in conclusions, consumers' decisions to purchase halal food are shaped by four main factors: religious awareness, halal certification and labeling, quality and hygiene, social influence. All the factors works together to build trust, confidence, and preference towards halal products in the market.
Alright, on this slide, we will discuss about the positive and the negative effects of consumer decision making in purchasing halal food in Malaysia. I will start with the positive effects. First, let's take a look at the positive effect on consumers. When consumers choose verified halal products, they are not only assured that the food meet the religious requirement, but they are also gain access to safer, cleaner and properly prepared food products. This will help to improve their satisfaction. Consumer who has knowledge will feel more confident in their purchasing, which will strengthen trust in the halal market. Next, the positive effect on businesses. Consumer will push these businesses to improve their product. For instance, producer will force to develop better and healthier halal option in order to meet the consumer demands. This will encourage companies to create a better product quality, improve their hygiene practice and become more transparent with their consumer, which will strengthen the trust between the consumer and the businesses. Finally, the positive effect on the economy. High consumer demand for halal food products in our country will contribute to the growth of Malaysia halal industry. The increasing spending on certified halal food from consumer will not only boost the business revenue, but also going to be able to attract foreign investment. With this growth, it will help to create more job opportunities in our country and also attract tourism. Now, let's take a look at the negative effect. First, I will start with the negative effect on the consumers. Consumers who are not well educated will rely a lot on the halal information on the product itself and may purchase products that are not genuinely halal. This can lead to a lot of disappointment, frustration and also reduce their trust in brands and the overall halal certification in our country. Second, the negative effect on businesses. Consumers who are well informed about the halal standard will encourage transparency from the brands. The small businesses may face a significant pressure and increase their compliance costs. Trying to meet the halal standard certification and keeping up with the consumer expectation can be financially challenging for this small business owner. Finally, the negative effect on the economy. Misinformation about halal standards may cause consumers to avoid certain brands, which can be unnecessary. This will cause the reducing of sales in some local sectors. When sales on halal product drop, it can slow down the overall growth of the halal industry in Malaysia.
Next, I will explain the challenges that consumers face when purchasing halal food. Although halal awareness is increasing, there are still several issues that make it difficult for consumers to identify and trust halal products. The first challenge is the logo fraud. There have been many cases where fake halal logos are used on products or the certification is invalid. This creates confusion and makes it harder for consumers to trust what they see on the packaging. when fake logos look like very similar to genuine ones. People may accidentally buy products that are not actually certified. The second issue is lack of knowledge. Many consumers do not fully understand how to check the authenticity of halal logos or certifications. Some people may not know the differences between the official Jakim logo and unofficial or foreign ones. Because of this, they may struggle to identify whether a product is truly halal or not. The third challenge involves imported products. Foreign food items often have halal logos from other countries, and sometimes these logos are not recognized in Malaysia. Consumers may find it difficult to verify whether the halal standards used overseas are equivalent to the standard required by JAKIM. This uncertainty causes hesitation, especially when buying international food items. Lastly, there is the issue of negative perception. Some people believe that the halal is just a marketing strategy and not a reflection of real religious values. This perception can reduce trust and make consumers less confident in the halal certification system. When people doubt the purpose of halal logos, it affects their purchasing decisions. So, to summarize, the main challenges in purchasing halal food include fake or invalid halal logos, lack of consumer knowledge, uncertainty with imported products, negative perceptions of halal labeling. These challenges highlight the importance of proper awareness, education, and stronger enforcement to protect consumers.
On this slide, we will discuss about some key solutions that can help Malaysian consumer make a better decision when they go out and buy halal food. First, educating consumer and raising awareness of halal is the first step to help them make a better decision. Consumers should be informed about how to verify that halal logo are authentic. One of the things that the government can do is to organize awareness campaign in school or spread information using social media. Educating consumer about halal standard not only build trust but also increase a brand loyalty so that the people will feel more confident buying product from trusted halal brands. Next is improving access to reliable halal information online. This is crucial because consumers need a quick and easy access to official sources like JAKIM platform and apps that can easily verify halal product. This will make it easier for the consumer to avoid fake and misleading halal labels. Moreover, food manufacturers should increase transparency about their product. Having a clear ingredient list, proper halal labeling, and detail about their product can help consumers to choose the right products. But do keep in mind that businesses also must balance transparency with protecting their sensitive company information. When manufacturers are transparent, consumers will feel more confident in their purchases and have fewer concerns about the halal status of the products. And finally, regulation related to halal logo need to be strengthened. The authorities should actively monitor the industry. Routines such as audit should be done more often, and stricter penalty for companies that didn't meet the standard are necessary to protect the consumer. A strong enforcement ensure that halal food quality standard in Malaysia are maintained. So in conclusion, these solutions such as educating the consumers, improving access to reliable information, increasing transparency among manufacturing, and strengthen regulation will help consumers to make a better decision when they are purchasing halal food in Malaysia.
In summary, decision-making process in purchasing halal food in Malaysia is influenced by religious obligation, trust, and the desire for assurance. Customers always have their own options to choose what and where to eat, but please use authentic sources when making decision about buying halal food. Make sure to check its authenticity first, because what goes viral is not necessarily true. Do not be too influenced by current trends to the point of ignoring the commandments of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Thank you. That's all from us.